performances of the season 2 nights ago. The Twins rebounded with a well-rounded performance last night. Pitching led the way, and today Minnesota calls on its newest arm to help take the series from the Royals. Carl Pavano makes his Metrodome debut with the Twins next. Encores can be tough to pull off. That's what Carl Pavano will try to do here this afternoon after a brilliant outing in his first in a Twins uniform. He'll hope to back that up with another good one here today. Menard's batting order for the Kansas City Royals in the series finale. David DeJesus in the leadoff spot as it Twins pitching well. Willie Bloomquist, Billy Butler, Mike Jacobs, Alberto Callaspo, Mark Teahan, John Buck, Alex Gordon, and Yuniesky Betancourt.
Well, let's do the miracle stream day, scouting report, treat day on Carl Pavano making his 23rd start, his 4th start actually against the Kansas City Royals this year. He's coming off that great start where he worked 7 innings, got a lot of run support, ended up winning and beating the Tigers 11-0 last Saturday in Detroit. And Pavano, a guy that relies on excellent control of a fastball, and he does a very good job at changing speeds.
Northland Ford defense for the Minnesota Twins. In the outfield, Jason Kubel in left, and Art Span in center, Michael Cuddyer in right. Creedy, Cabrera, Punto, and Morneau, same infield out there as was out there last night. Mike Redmond doing the catching, and as you might expect, Joe Mauer in the lineup as the designated hitter, giving his legs a bit of a break. He'll just swing the bat here, at least at the start of the game. Pavano made his first start as a Twin against a team whose number he's had, the Detroit Tigers. The Royals are probably the polar opposite of that. He has had a tough time against Kansas City this year, in one start in particular. 9 earned runs, 11 hits, and 4 2/3 innings. So in a lot of ways, this will be a bigger challenge for him than his first game against the Tigers. Pitches up high, ball 1.
I'm sure he's pretty pumped up here this afternoon. This is his first start in a Twins uniform here. We showed you that he was once a member of the Yankees, and he beat the Twins here a couple years ago.
And into right center field, DeJesus has an extra base hit to get the game started as the ball hit the turf, split the seam, and he'll run to third with an opening triple. So a leadoff triple for David DeJesus.
One thing the Kansas City Royals have been able to do this year is hit a lot of triples. That's their 39th triple. They lead the American League in that department, and DeJesus getting a fastball, hitting his 8th triple of the year. Span having to finally get it off that turf. And as a pitcher, you say, you know what, it's a 1-0 ball game. Get an out right here. Middle of the infield for the defense will play back.
Royals put a 4-run first together 2 nights ago. They scored a single run in the first last night on a Bloomquist home run. And Pavano misses inside, ball 1.
Pavano is a strikeout pitcher. He's averaged just over 6 strikeouts per 9 innings so far this year. Outwalks outstanding. Excellent control. 1.5 walks per 9.
Bounce to short. The run will score.
Yep.
Cabrera gets the out, 1 away.
And that's what you want to do as a pitcher. Get an out right there, because, 9 out of 10 times DeJesus is going to score a run. So you give up a run, you get an out with that leadoff triple. Bloomquist, who hit a home run in last night's ball game in the first inning, picks up his 23rd RBI. The only run the Royals were able to get last night.
Billy Butler will hit. And Pavano hits the outside corner. This is Pavano's 4th start this year against Kansas City. And there's one quality start on the list, and even in that start he gave up 3 earned runs in 6 innings. Chopped up the middle. Cabrera to his left, sets and fires 2 down.
Well, what we saw in last night's ball game in our Chrysler Key Stat is when a Twin starter can go at least 7 innings or more. Look at their record, 29-11, and that includes 12 straight wins. And they're 26-47 when they do not get a starter to go at least 7.
So 2 down here in the first, and Mike Jacobs, the designated hitter.
Again, that just shows the importance of good quality starts, and that got a piece of home plate umpire Bill Welke. That's not quite the way that you want to start your afternoon if you're the home plate umpire.
And Redmond can relate. He's usually...
Well, I don't know if he can relate to this. Ouch.
But...
Bingo bongo.
I mean, that's very painful, and it's hard to watch, but look how exposed he is. I mean, he's setting up over the inside corner, and you're almost inviting that to happen. Do you think umpires would ever go back to the inflatable protector that they had only in the American League for all those years?
I had a chance to talk to Steve Palermo when we were in Cleveland. We did not do that game, and he was there. And he said no. We talked about that. Umpires feel a lot more comfortable the way that Welke is. And umpires set up differently. Right now, Welke, you can see where he is as Redmond moves to the outer half of the plate. He doesn't move with Redmond. He pretty much stays in that one spot. So he is exposed.
2-2 to Jacobs. Of course, they have the armor underneath the shirt.
And they have a cup, too.
One would hope.
That's the most important thing.
Lead-off triple and a run, but then Pavano gets the next 3 batters. Into the bottom of the first, and Ron Gardner hires Menard's batting order. Denard Span leading off, Orlando Cabrera hitting second. A 21-game hitting streak now for the Twins shortstop. Joe Mauer, the DH, then Justin Morneau, Jason Kubel, Michael Canayer, Joe Creedy, Mike Redmond, and Nick Punto.
And let's look at the miracle treat day here off of Gil Mesh. Gil Mesh just coming off the disabled list, just activated for his start here. And his last start was back on July 11th. His last win came in a shutout against the Arizona Diamondbacks back on June 16th. He's put on the disabled list with some lower back strain.
And Mesh will face Denard Span. Mesh making his 3rd start of the year against the Twins. The Twins have done okay against him. One of those matchups where he beat the Twins, probably should have lost the game, and then he lost the game he very easily could have won.
Hey, he's walked a lot of batters this year, maybe because of that lower back problem, but 108 innings pitched. He's walked 49 batters already this year. Mesh in his 3rd year of a 5-year contract he signed with the Royals.
A strike, 2-1. When Mesh faced the Twins on May 3rd, he had some control issues. He walked Denard Span to start the ball game. Span stole second, scored on a single. couple of walks in the first inning for Mesh. Slice down the line, foul, and it's 2-2. Two and two, the Twins leadoff hitter.
Mesh, 30 years old, originally signed by the Mariners. A #1 pick back in 1996. Pitched 7 seasons for the Mariners before signing as a free agent by the Kansas City Royals. It's kind of been their workhorse over the last couple of years. This is the first time he's been on a disabled list as a Royal.
It was one of the issues he had in Seattle. They had a hard time dealing with his assorted injuries, and you look at the price of pitching these days, and a lot of people raised an eyebrow when the Royals gave him the $55 million deal, but other than his stint on the disabled list, he's given them their money's worth.
Yes, he has. He's been consistent.
Up the middle, and that'll skip through. Mesh tried to reach behind his back. Spans aboard with a leadoff single. Northland Ford defense for the Kansas City Royals. In the outfield, David DeJesus, Willie Bloomquist, and Mark Teahan. Alex Gordon back in at third base. Betancourt and Callaspo up the middle. Butler at first, and John Buck behind the plate. And that is a big factor. John Buck behind the plate. He's had a really tough time working with the Kansas City staff in limiting the running game. And Span, who stole a base on Mesh and Buck back in early May, is at first right out of the chute here this afternoon.
Yeah, John Buck has thrown out only 2 of 30 potential base stealers. Mesh will try to keep Span close. Span with 18 stolen bases. Mesh will try that slide step.
Span goes in the first pitch, and Cabrera punches the ball to the right side. And that time the Royals had the shortstop covering. The second baseman Callaspo stayed at home to make the play.
Yeah, a little hit and run put on right there on that first pitch, because Cabrera swinging at a pitch away. And Span does go over to second base as the second baseman, Callaspo, there to field the ball. Ron Coomer, have you faced Gil Mesh?
You know, I faced him early in his career,
right,
and he's got a great arm, great two-seam fastball. I watched him throwing the pen today. You know, he's just got a live arm with the two-seamer. It really is going to make it tough on the righties. The left-handers are going to have to try to take him the other way, like you saw Denard Span fouling some pitches off. The one thing, like Pavano, he likes to do when he's ahead in the count is he'll come at the left-handed hitter at your ribs, and then his fastball will break over the plate. Talked with Gardy before the game. Great arm. You know, the Twins are going to have to scratch out some runs, and hopefully Pavano will keep him in the ballgame.
1-0 to Mauer. Laced to center field. It'll tie the game, and that might run the gap. In deep center field, Bloomquist with the retrieve. Mauer with an RBI double, and it's 1 apiece.
Well, Joe Mauer came into the ballgame 9 points higher than Ichiro Suzuki in the batting race, hitting at .368. He doesn't waste any time to get another hit. A breaking ball that kind of stayed right about thigh high, and Joe lining it right back up the middle. He picks up his 67th RBI of the year.
And now here's Morneau. And the Twins have scored in the first inning of every game in this series. 1 2 nights ago, the 4-spot or the 5-spot last night, and now 1 early run here this afternoon. Morneau, check swing and a little dribbler to third. Gordon fires a close play. Morneau's retired, and Mauer moves up a base. So Morneau kind of gets cheated in that at bat. He just tried to check his swing, but made contact for out number 2. His double, extending his hitting streak to 10 games. And now here's Jason Kubel. Kubel followed by Cuddyer, and I've got a call. Either Jason Kubel or Michael Cuddyer is going to hit their 20th home run in today's game.
You had that last night, didn't you?
Really? of a deja vu thing.
So you're just going to go until they hit one. You'll say maybe on tomorrow, then Saturday. No, you can't do it Saturday. Maybe Sunday.
You could do it Saturday.
I
You're
could do it
working
Saturday,
the network game. 1-0 to Kubel. Curve lifted down the left field line. That's a long run for DeJesus, and he makes a basket catch in fair territory. So the Twins get a couple of hits and a game-tying run in the first.
Welcome back to Twins Baseball on Fox Sports North. I'm Robbie. It's Mikowski. And Ron Gardenhire, the manager of the Minnesota Twins today, is playing Joe Crede on a day game after a night game, and partly because of the night he had last night. He went 3 for 3, had that home run in that big 5-run inning that the Twins had last night, and he also scored twice for the Twins. Now, that's not something you would have expected Gardenhire to do when Joe Crede was signed as a member of the Minnesota Twins, given his injury history and the fact that he missed the recent series at Detroit with a shoulder problem. But this is a pretty important game and a pretty important series. And with the Tigers playing at Boston, a tough series for them, losing the first two, can't blame him for putting his starting third baseman back in the lineup today, Bert and Dick.
Well, there's a baseball saying that it always says you have all winter to rest. And that's what they hope that Joe Crede will do, is not miss any more ball games. They need his bat in the lineup because of what he can bring, not only defensively, but you saw the big 3-run home run last night.
Yeah, Joe would tell you, I've spent enough time watching baseball. I want to play. And if his back will allow it, and the hamstring and all that. The shoulder apparently is okay. You're always concerned about that every time he's going to dive for a ball. He might tweak it again, but ready to go today, and that's good news. One down. Here's Martin. Ball one. Seen Tien in the infield. Now we see him in the outfield. He's got some skills and a little bit of power. He runs well. And I think of Martin, and I think he might be a better player. One of those guys that would be a better player on a better team, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I mean, just think what he could do, say for when the Red Sox have made a lot of moves. What he could do for a team like the Boston Red Sox, could fill in a bunch of different areas, and with his speed, left-handed bat, I just think he's a pretty valuable commodity for the Royals when he's playing for them, and should they ever decide to trade Martin. Swinging a foul.
Well, he's a good player. I mean, we've seen him at third, we've seen him at second, last night at first base, here in the outfield, and that's only going to help him as he gets older. He's 27 years old. He's in his 5th season with the Royals. Originally signed by Oakland. #1 pick back in 2002.
1-2 from Pavano. barehanded by Pavano, and he makes the play. And appears to be no worse for the wear.
Always a dangerous play, but Pavano at 6'5", he got big old hands right there, just knocks it down. And then flipping it over to Morneau for the second out. As a pitcher, you react to the ball, and you reacted very nicely there. You want to do that with your open fist rather than maybe catching that ball on a finger.
This afternoon's DQ text question. Do we think Joe Mauer will win his third batting title? Celebrating Miracle Treat Day today and offering up some special text questions. You can text a question or comment to short code 234-234. There's certainly no reason to believe that he won't win the third batting title.
I don't have a crystal ball, but I would have to say that it's probably going to be between him and Ichiro. And I like Joe Mauer's chances.
6 straight retired by Pavano in a 1-1 game. Tom, plan your next Minnesota vacation today. That's the trout fishing there in the scenic Whitewater State Park in southeastern Minnesota. Some of the top fly fishing streams in the state, containing brown, brook, and rainbow trout. Ever done any fly fishing?
Yes, actually, the hitting or the pitching coach for the Kansas City Royals, Bob McClure, and I did some fly fishing in Boston.
Kadire out on a pitch, 1 down. It's kind of strange because you went fly fishing in Boston. Most of my fly fishing has been done outside of Cleveland. It's a Miracle Treat Day, DQ Miracle Treat today, and I've got the Girl Scout Cookie Thin Mint here that I've been presenting.
And I have the Tag-Along Peanut.
How is it?
Very good.
Yeah?
Very good.
Well, I'm going to sample mine here between innings and enjoy it, I'm sure. And you can participate in the program with $1 of the proceeds donated to the Children's Miracle Network. And last year, $4.5 million were raised on Miracle Treat Day for Children's Miracle Network.
Yeah, I want to personally thank everybody that goes out and gets a blizzard today, because it's all going to a worthy cause.
And locally, the money will support the Gillette Children's Hospital. Joe Creedy at the plate, 2 quick strikes from Gil Mesh. An off-speed pitch, tap foul. Creedy with a good night at the plate last night, busted the game wide open with a 3-run home run his first time up. Takes a fastball on the outside corner, 2 down.
Mesh picks up his first strikeout.
If you are interested in group tickets, Michael Kadire has some details.
One of the best things about Twins baseball is sharing it with others. like with your customers, employees, or colleagues at work. Call us today to book your group at the Dome. Thanks for your support.
And a lot of groups, look like school groups, little league teams, something like that. Mike Redmond on the first pitch, a grounder to second. Quick inning for Gilmesh as the Twins go down 1-2-3. At least I've heard it said that pitchers are the best athletes, and the new Wild head coach tried it out for size, throwing the ceremonial first pitch, of course, to Justin Morneau. Todd Richards, the new Wild head coach, and Justin Morneau, Minnesota Twins #1 hockey fan. And Todd's nice enough to stop by today. And you must have, having grown up here in the Twin Cities, you must have been a pretty big Twins fan growing up, weren't you?
I was a big Twins fan. Didn't come to a lot of games, but I definitely watched a lot on TV.
First pitch to Alex Gordon, fouled back.
Congratulations to you. Got some exciting time ahead of you.
It is for myself and my family. My immediate family, with my wife and my kids, but I also have sisters in the area and my parents as well. So we're all very excited.
Gordon at the plate, and he takes down and in. What's priority #1 here as you take over the reins of the hockey team, and you guys are going to get up and skating here pretty soon?
Well, right now we're making quite a few changes to the locker room.
Is that right?
Well, just we want, when the players come in, we want them to see right away that there's been some changes. Obviously, they know changes to the GM, changes with the coach. So there's going to be a new culture. There's going to be a new identity with this team.
What's going to be your biggest obstacle, you know, as a new coach?
I think it's going to be getting everybody on the same page as quick as possible. You know, Jacques and his staff previous has done a great job with these guys, teaching them a certain style of hockey, and we want to come in as a group, myself and my coaching staff, and start to implement a little bit more aggressive style.
3-2 to Alex Gordon. Yuniesky, Betancourt, and David DeJesus will follow. Pavano set down 6 men in a row. And this one lifted down the left field line. And foul. Well, last winter, Ron Gardenhire took his first courageous steps onto the ice at the X, coached by Darby Hendrickson and Kevin Gord. Gardy was able to score a goal and not fall down.
That's pretty good right there. Not falling down.
How you set for right wingers?
Well, okay. It looks like he shoots the puck about the same as I throw a ball.
He had never been on skates before. Of course, he grew up in Oklahoma, and I don't even know if the small ponds freeze in Oklahoma in the wintertime. 3-2 again to Gordon. And he just missed the inside corner. It's an opening walk here in the third. Well, the leadoff man is on, and that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Betancourt. First walk issued by Pavano. Well, in another life, a long, long time ago, Todd, I remember you as a defenseman for the Gophers in my off-season or off-baseball season employment. I did some Gopher hockey for a while and went with you to Marquette, Michigan a few times and all that. Long, long time ago, but it's kind of come full circle for you. You grew up here, your high school and collegiate years were here, and it's got to be a big thrill not only to break into the NHL coaching ranks, but to do it here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you look at the NHL, much like managing, there's only a handful of these jobs in the world, and to be a head coach in the NHL is an honor, and it's a dream come true to come back to my home state of Minnesota and be the head coach here.
I know you've done a lot of work now, but some highlights right there of you, Todd.
Here's how long ago it was. They used film back then. Not videotape, but film.
Yeah, you can see the goalies weren't very good back then either.
Well, who were your teammates back then? I was trying to think who your Gopher teammates would have been back then.
Well, the class I came in with Dave Snuggerud, Marty Nanny, Tom Chorsky,
sure,
Dave Espy, Jay Cates. Those were a bunch of them. Mike Luckcraft was another. So that was the class. But when I came in as a freshman, we had the seniors that year were Frank Pietrangelo, Tony Kellen, Wally Chapman, and Pat Micheletti. So I was fortunate enough. In all 4 years, we went to the Final Four all 4 years, but unfortunately, we were never able to win the national championship.
The heartbreaker against Harvard, right? That's the one I remember. Betancourt with a liner to left, and the Royals are making some noise here in the third inning. First and second, nobody out. Today we're celebrating DQ Miracle Treat Day. At participating locations, a portion of the proceeds of every Blizzard purchased will be donated to the Children's Miracle Network. And locally, the money supports the Gillette Children's Hospital. The Minnesota Wild have always been very involved over there. Last December, Wild players Pierre-Marc Bouchard and Stéphane Veilleux were on hand to help spread some holiday cheer.
Now, baseball has a 25-man roster. In hockey, what's your roster?
Well, we can dress 20, and it's really up to the team. And as far as how many you want to carry, you can have anywhere from 22 to 23 players. Sometimes when you go on a long road trip with some tough travel, you might bring an extra body. It's a little bit easier if you bring them along instead of our affiliation is down in Houston, and if we're out in Vancouver, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to get a player up that way in short notice.
Fouled away. DeJesus tripled and scored in the first inning. In years past, of course, Jacques Lemaire, great coach, but his style of play close to the vest, shall we say. Is that one of your priorities, to try to open things up a little bit?
Well, I would just like to get the players playing a more aggressive style on the forecheck and working as a group of 5 out on the ice, and to try to create a mentality of just when we don't have the puck, let's get it back. I'm a big Vikings fan, and in the previous regime with the Vikings, I always struggled watching them. They'd have a 15-point lead or a 10-point lead maybe in the fourth quarter, and they go into a prevent defense, and they've had success all year playing an aggressive style, and I want the same thing. I believe if we play an aggressive style the whole game and we do it for 3 periods, we're going to have some success.
Well, you told me you have a rookie camp that's starting shortly here.
Yeah, we got the rookies coming in September 4th, and they'll be heading out to Traverse City, Michigan to play in another tournament with a number of other NHL clubs and their rookies. So that'll run for about a week, and there'll be a number of games there, and then the main camp will open up September 12th here in Minneapolis. I'm sorry, in St. Paul.
1-2. Pavano in a little bit of difficulty here in the third inning. Got a 1-1 game, and this is the rubber game of this 3-game series. 1-2 to DeJesus. Swung on and missed. A big strikeout for the first out of the inning. Well, Todd, we want to wish you the best of luck. We know that you'll be following the Twins when you can, but very soon you're going to be far too busy to be following baseball. We wish you the best of luck. Great to see you again.
All right, thanks. I appreciate you guys having me up here.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
And you got a pretty good arm. You hit the outer half of the plate really good.
Well, it was a strike.
Do me a favor. You got to do that. You got to get him on skates sometime this winter.
He's welcome anytime. He can come out. I was going to try to throw a Burt Blevin a curveball.
Yeah, forget it.
But it would have ended up in the back net.
Yeah. Mine usually ended up out in left field.
Well, thanks for having me.
Thanks, Don. All right. Here's Willie Bloomquist, hit a ground ball to short in the first inning, drove in the Kansas City run in the first inning, and here Pavano would hope to get another one. Maybe the Twins can get two.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that David DeJesus was not asked to bunt in that situation. Nobody out, runners at first and second.
A little speed out there with Gordon and Betancourt.
But Pavano picking up a big strikeout. That was on that split finger, picking up his second strikeout.
That's a base hit to left. Gordon will be waved around third. Kubel coming up with the throw. And the Royals take the lead. So Bloomquist drove in the only run last night in the first two Kansas City runs here this afternoon.
Kind of jammed himself right there, but still strong enough to get it past the diving Joe Creedy into left field. You see where they want that ball in. A two-seamer runs right into the swing of Bloomquist. Kubel comes up. Gordon scores the second run for the Royals as he slides across home plate.
Here's Butler. Butler with a bouncer to short his first time up. The Royals continue to have some success against Carl Pavano. There's a first pitch strike. Well, it's sometimes just a matter of confidence. You've talked about it so many times. Here's Pavano, who couldn't have helped but felt confident taking the mound against the Tigers. In his last start, he'd already beaten them several times this year. That's hit pretty well to right. Cuddyer going back high off the wall. Betancourt will score. Right behind him is Bloomquist, and he'll be held. The first runner scores and Bloomquist held up late. It's 3-1.
Well, Pavano leaving a pitch up, and Butler, who now has 37 doubles on the year, second in the American League in doubles, almost hit a 3-run home run.
He is a strong young man.
Yes, he is.
How do you send one and stop the other?
You see Dave Owen right there, the third base coach, stopping Bloomquist as Betancourt scores the second run of the inning.
So 3-1 and 2 in scoring position. The only man retired this inning was DeJesus, who struck out. Here's Mike Jacobs, who was called out on strikes in the first. We're talking about confidence, and Pavano, who pretty much handled the Tigers with ease. Butler's second in the league now to Brian Roberts in doubles. And similarly, the Royals, I'm sure, quite confident that they can do some damage against Pavano because they've done it before this year.
Pavano's leaving some pitches up, and the Royals are not missing them.
Tap to the left side, another run will score. Cabrera de Morno, and Jacobs gets a free RBI, and it's 4-1.
Ron Coomer, you see anything about Carl Pavano?
Bert, I agree with you. The thing early in the game, it looked like he had great movement and was getting the ball at least down to the thigh. His changeup, breaking ball, and his fastball especially have been a little flatter this inning, and definitely at least thigh to belt. And that's why some balls have been elevated and hit a little harder.
There's Callaspo, the runner at second, and 2 down. Whoop, foul.
Well, you saw that pitch right there. Redmond sitting down and away, and the ball left out over the plate, and Callaspo hitting it sharply. Always watch the catcher where he moves. Rick Anderson keeping a close eye. You see where that pitch is. It goes right back into that swing zone.
See, now don't you want that ball, Bert, as a pitcher? You want that ball to be diving down almost to the shoe tops of Redmond, where that ball ends up knee high. So you, as a hitter, you see that ball much better when it ends up at your knees for a breaking ball.
Yeah, there's a good fastball in.
And
yeah, you have two types of fastballs. You have a four-seam fastball. That last one, more of a four-seam straight fastball, works in on lefties. And then you have the two-seam fastball. I think Redmond wanted that on the first pitch, but it kind of hung right back into the zone.
Foul back. Ayaspo spins it back to the net.
Ayaspo having a very solid year for the Royals, getting a chance to play.
Sometimes at second, sometimes at short. And a big strikeout strands Butler at second, but the Royals put a 3-spot up to retake the lead against Carl Pavano. Up on Carl Pavano and the Twins in the top of the third. Hot and humid outside. Good summertime weather.
How can you not want to go to DQ and get a blizzard? Look at that. That's beautiful.
And if you can't go to DQ, you can be lucky like us, and DQ will come to you. We've had some presented to us here. Gil Mesh handed a second lead of 3 runs. And Nick Punta will lead things off, taking ball 1.
Well, Mesh making his first start since July 11th. He made 2 rehab starts, 67 pitches in his first rehab start, 85 in his second. So you don't know what you're going to get out of him right here this afternoon. What helped him is last inning, he threw only 6 pitches. Has only 20 pitches so far here with an 0-2 count on Punto.
3-0 now to the number 9 batter. Mesh has seen Pavano issue a leadoff walk in the top of the third, and it eventually led to 3 runs. The last thing he wants to do is commit the same sin here. On the outside corner, 3-1. And now 3-2. Punto, Span, and Cabrera, and then the Twins hope to send the middle of the lineup, Mauer, Morneau, and Kubel up here in the third inning as well.
Mesh making his 19th career start against the Twins, 8-6 in his career.
That's slapped to the left field line. Fair. Great cutoff by DeJesus. Punto digging for second, and he is in despite a great play by David DeJesus in the left field corner.
Oh, they were shading Nick Punto that way. Nick hit the ball sharply. DeJesus maybe 20-30 feet from that line, and he got over there very quickly to get that ball back in. Look at the hustle right there. wheel and throw, and 1, 2, and that little second hop allowed Nick Punto to slide in safely head first. For Punto, his 7th double of the year, and it's a leadoff double here in the bottom of the 3rd.
Span singled and scored in the 1st. And a ground ball right over the mound into center field. Grounded sharply to Gordon. Span, rare at bat, is gone on 1 pitch.
Yeah, not a good at bat right there for Span. Even though you're down 3 runs, you start pecking away, and Span had to try to pull that ball.
You can ask us a question or offer up a comment online at carsoup.com/baseball. Randy Donnelly from Hugo, Minnesota, north of the Twin Cities a little bit. Which American League team has surrendered the fewest home runs? We'll show you in a moment. Here's Cabrera, threw the bat at the ball and punched a ground ball to the right side. Breaking ball over for a strike. They have a very good pitching staff. They're in a hitter-friendly ballpark, but the Red Sox have allowed the fewest home runs.
There you see Kansas City right there. The Twins are 11th.
To the right side again. Callaspo over to Butler, 2 down, and it'll be left to Mauer with 2 outs. And again, underscoring the span at bat and how quickly he was retired, more to the point, I guess, how he was retired, hitting a ground ball and not advancing a runner.
Yeah, those are the little things that win ball games as the game goes on. You need to do the little things to create a run. Right there, infield probably would have been playing back. That would have been an RBI for Cabrera. Instead, it's a second out, and Nick Punto at 3rd.
Mauer drove in the 1st run with a double to right center field. Mesh from the stretch, and Mauer takes a strike.
Maybe Ron Gardenhire's talking to Span about that right there. You can't expect your club to come right back and score 3. You would like to, but you can get 1 here, 1 there. All of a sudden, it's a 4-2 game, 4-3 game. As long as Pavano settles down.
And especially taking advantage of a leadoff double from your number 9 hitter. It'd be nice to turn that into a run. Twins still can. It's just going to require Mauer to get a hit. It's not like he hasn't gotten those before. Fouled back. Big swing by Joe. It's 1-2. Mariners, by the way, will be playing the Yankees later tonight at Safeco Field. Very late last night, the Mariners pulled out a 1-0 win over the White Sox. Ken Griffey Jr. with the decisive hit that drove in finally the only run of the game.
Yeah, bottom of the 14th inning.
1-2 to Mauer. Bounced up the first baseline. Now, last night Ichiro got a hit, but his biggest play was defensively throwing out a runner at the plate in a scoreless game late against the White Sox, catching a fly ball and making a perfect throw home, keeping the game scoreless. And the White Sox ended up losing the ball game 1-0. So the Twins picked up a game on both Detroit and Chicago. 1-2 to Mauer. Twins trying to cut into a 3-run Kansas City lead. The big swing. Mish seems to be leaving some balls up, and Joe hasn't caught up with one yet.
Well, he tried to go inside right there, and Mesh left the ball up a little bit.
White Sox are idle. They'll head or have headed down the coast. They'll play the A's this weekend. Detroit has one more game at Fenway Park. That's scoreless in the second inning. Another 1-2 coming. Gil Mesh to Joe Mauer. Two and 2.
Made sure he got it inside that time.
Mesh blowing on his left hand.
We'll see the 6 pitches needed to get out of the second inning so far, 15 in the third. So the pitch count's still very good for Bill Mesh.
Long look in to Buck, and now a 2-2 pitch coming. Bounce to the right side. An easy play for Butler, and the Twins waste a leadoff double and still trail 4-1. Lead in the Grand Casino game reset.
Well, Pavano, what he wants to do right now is put some zeros on the board, keep the score with the Royals only 4 runs. DeJesus led the game off with a triple. He scored the first run, and then the 3 runs scored last inning by the Royals, giving them a 4-1 lead.
Mark Teahan hit a one-hopper back to the mound. Pavano knocked it down with his bare hand and was able to turn it into an out in the second inning. Lifted foul and out of play, 1-1. It'll be Teahan, Buck, and Gordon for the Royals here in the fourth. Kind of a tough stretch of games starting for Kansas City. The series here, a beginning of a stretch of 17 games out of 23 that are on the road. They've not done well at home or on the road. Called strike 1 and 2, but that's a tough stretch for whether it's a veteran team or a young team. Trey Hillman's done a lot of that in-game coaching. It's down the left field line, twisting away from Kubel, and a foul ball. Royals got off to a great start. Were 18-11 at one point. Zach Greinke wasn't giving up runs, and there was a lot of interest and intrigue regarding this Kansas City team, but things kind of fell apart in a hurry. They had a 7-18 July. 1-2 to Teahan. Hop, up, back, and out of play. That was over our heads.
A lot of things over our heads. 50 pitches right now for Pavano. 37 strikes.
Pavano, if he can come back and win this ball game, would be the first 11-game winner on the Twins staff. Kevin Slowey stuck on 10 for the season. Just missing the inside corner, 2-2. I don't think he'll pick up an 11th win this year with that thing on his right wrist. Had the bone chip taken out. And another foul off the bat of Teahan.
Yeah, talking to Kevin, within the next week he's going to have that semi-cast taken off so he can start doing some exercises with that right hand. It's going to be a slow process.
Glenn Perkins also on the disabled list. His left shoulder the area of concern. Perkins shut down again for at least a couple of weeks. 2-2. And Tien fights another one off. Pavano trying to fight through a difficult first 3 innings here. Royals have scored some runs against him this year, and they've already scored 4 early ones here today.
Well, Pavano with some movement on the fastball. He'll mix in a curveball, slider, and then he has a split finger. That fastball fouled away.
Tien hanging tough in this opening at bat of the 4th inning. Pavano can't put him away. Already 10 pitches in this at bat and 6 2-strike fouls. And now a full count. Pavano's not only had Detroit's number, his last 3 wins have come against them. Last time he faced the Royals, it was back on June 10th. John Buck in the on-deck circle. Pavano's had 2 starts this year where he gave up 9 earned runs in a game. His first start for the Indians way back on April 9th. Another foul ball against the Texas Rangers. Pitched 1 inning, gave up 9 earned runs. And then things got better until his outing on June 10th against the Royals. 4 2/3 innings and 9 earned runs.
Well, the Twins looked at Pavano. They liked Pavano because of his success against the Tigers and the White Sox. 2 clubs that the Twins are trying to catch. He's 5-1 this year against both those ball clubs.
And Tien just keeps flicking them foul. 8 2-strike fouls in this plate appearance. Pavano's best outing of the year came in early June, right before the Kansas City one. A 3-hit, 9-inning shutout of the White Sox. 3-2. And finally a grounder to second. Backhanded by Punto, and Tien will make a right-hand turn finally after making the first out of the 4th.
A great at-bat for Tien right there. And Pavano says, "Phew, finally, that first out."
Day game after a night game. Nevertheless, we've got a Aflac trivia question.
Aflac!
Aflac duck in the air-conditioned comfort of the Metrodome.
Aflac.
Which Royal has the most career hits in the Metrodome? Wow.
Mike Sweeney.
Swing and a miss by John Buck. Well, they've run some
is that
pretty good.
Current day Royal, or is that a history?
Royals history. Little number to short. Cabrera waits. And a quicker second out than first. 2 down.
It's either Mike Sweeney or Steve Balboni. One of those 2.
We're not talking about hits you gave up, just overall hits. Tomorrow night, the Twins will be handing out a commemorative ticket holder and lanyard to the first 10,000 fans. MLB 2K9 presents the gift that can be used to hold your ticket to one of the final Metrodome games and games next season at Target Field. Twins and Indians, Friday, opener of a 3-game series, and tickets are available at twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS.
So you throw 12 pitches to one guy, and then you get the next guy out on a couple pitches.
And then Gordon
try to figure this game out.
It was Gordon's leadoff walk in the 3rd inning that set the table for the Royals, who eventually scored 3 runs in the inning. One and one. Well, you think of George Brett, you think of Willie Wilson, but neither one of those guys have played here in 15 years. That's deep to left. Kubel back, and that ball's gone. Gordon with a home run, and it's 5-1.
Well, his third home run of the year. Left-handers came into this ball game hitting only .275 against Pavano. That's his 7th home run allowed to a left-hander. 13 to right-handed hitters. What a fastball away. And good piece of hitting. We see that's a Joe Mauer swing right there, just taking the pitch the other way into the bleachers.
So 5-1 Kansas City, and here's Yuniesky Betancourt. Belt high strike with a fastball. And another strike. Betancourt singled and scored. Royals ended up with a leadoff walk, 3 hits followed, and 3 runs followed in the third. Another one here in the fourth. 1-2.
I think the Royals are going to be happy with this guy, not only the rest of this year, but hopefully for the years to come. Needed to get out of Seattle. Career .282 hitter coming into this year, so the average at .237 coming in.
The new regime in Seattle took over, and they spent a few months trying to figure out who was going to be part of the solution there and who was going to be part of the problem, or who was part of the problem. And Betancourt just kind of got caught in between in Seattle.
Well, and then they went out and got a very good shortstop in Jack Wilson from the Pirates.
Bounce to Creedy. He gobbles that up and ends the inning. But in the inning, a home run by Alex Gordon, and it's 5-1 Kansas City. Miracle Treat Day here at the Dome, and actually goes beyond Minnesota, throughout the United States and Canada, where $1 or more for every blizzard sold today, benefiting Children's Miracle Network hospitals, and locally here Gillette Hospital in St. Paul. The hospitals treat children with chronic illnesses or those who've been in serious accidents. And John Kuzi is 15 years old. He lives in the South Metro, and he has cerebral palsy, and he's been watching Twins games for a long time, and apparently has practiced doing play-by-play here many times. So, John, we're going to hand the reins over to you and let you do some play-by-play here. How's that sound?
Good.
All right.
Go for it, John. It's all yours.
Okay.
And Morneau with a swing and a miss, 1-2.
You sound a lot like Dick so far. You really do.
Morneau, Kubel, and Kadair will hit.
Got to quit talking so much, John.
Here's the pitch.
There you go.
And Morneau fouls it off.
John, you're a big Twins fan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's your favorite player?
Denard Span.
Denard Span is, okay.
Here's the next pitch. Morneau fouls it off again.
All right, what's the count?
1-2.
1 ball, 2 strikes?
Yep.
Very good. Now, you do this at home, I understand.
Yeah.
Do you do that off the TV? You turn us off, and then you do the play-by-play?
Yeah.
A lot of people do that. Turn us off.
Pitch. And that's a ball. 2-2.
What was that pitch, though? That looked like a breaking ball that he kind of just let spin a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Gil Mesh given a 5-1 lead. He's given up 3 hits to the Twins.
And a ground ball to second.
Oh, look where that second baseman's playing. My goodness, he's playing out right field. John, I understand you love the game of baseball, and you got a chance to play some Little League, didn't you?
Yeah.
Look at that right there. Now, you had somebody run for you, but you got to look like you got a pretty good swing. And you did some catching, I understand.
Yeah.
Look at you pushing everybody around. Get out of my way. I'm the catcher.
Yeah. And the first pitch to Jason Kubel is fouled off.
John, you're doing a great job, but the real test is, do you know the number of people should call if they want to buy Twins tickets?
1-800 33
Twins.
There you go. See, now
very good.
You can do this. As long as you got the number for people to buy Twins tickets, you can do this job.
All right. And the next pitch to Kubel is a strike.
Yeah, that's a good pitch.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good breaking ball. Remember the one he threw to Justin, but he left it up
Yeah.
and away? That's a better breaking ball right there.
Yeah.
See Buck wanting a fastball away.
And Kubel fouls it off.
I understand you like Terry Steinbach, too.
Yeah.
You're a big Terry Steinbach fan?
Yeah.
You ever met Terry?
I think so.
He's a good man.
Yeah. The next pitch to Kubel is a ground ball base hit.
I want that. Come on, let's go. Up a little bit higher. Base hit to right field.
Okay.
Get it. Do it.
Base hit to right field.
There you go. Good.
Now we're going to answer our Aflac trivia question.
Aflac. Well, I'm gonna go with George Brett. John,
Who's your
And the
guess?
answer is Willie Wilson.
No, don't say that. Oh, that's who you said, Willie Wilson?
Yeah.
Hey,
Very good.
You're
You're better than we are.
Another win for the booth.
Yes.
Thank you, John.
Very nice, John. I saw Willie Wilson when we were in Kansas City. I was part of that Negro Museum fundraiser, and Willie Wilson was there along with Al Fitzmaurice. They do great work for that museum.
The first pitch to Kadair was a ball. And another ball, 2-0 to Michael Kadair.
Kadair has to have a good night right now because he's my pick to stick.
Oh.
So I need a good hit right here by Kadair.
Oh, yeah.
And he has very good numbers against Gil Mesh. What are his numbers?
He's hitting .538 with 7 hits and 1 home run, 6 RBIs, and 2 strikeouts.
And how many at-bats?
19 at-bats.
Right.
And he has a 3-0 count right here. And there's a strike.
How could he take that one?
I don't know.
He likes that ball down in the strike zone. He took it.
Yeah.
This will be Gil Mesh's 50th pitch of the game. What do you do with that one?
He fouled that one off.
Very good.
So now it's a full count.
You send a runner here, John?
I don't think
It's Jason Kubel.
Yeah. Well, if there were 2 outs, I'd send them, but
That's very smart.
yeah.
But now with 1 out, we keep him at first?
Yeah, I'd keep them at first.
Yeah, Kubel doesn't have a stolen base yet this year. He popped it up
And
again.
Kadire pops one up to second base.
He's not helping me in the game.
Get your single game tickets for the final 2 months of the Metrodome Baseball by logging on to twinsbaseball.com. You can also load up on the latest Twins merchandise and the latest information like players, appearances, and special events. All things Twins at twinsbaseball.com, where baseball is always on.
Very good. All right. Great job. You read that better than Dick does.
The first pitch to Creedy is a strike.
Now, where is home for you, John?
Burnsville, Minnesota.
Burnsville, okay. And what grade will you be in?
I'm going into 9th grade. And this second pitch, Creedy swings and misses. So now it's an 0-2 count.
He probably doesn't want to swing at that one again. It was a little bit up in the strike zone.
Yeah.
They want to make the pitcher bring it down a little bit.
Yeah.
You sent Kubel yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
And the third pitch to Creedy is fouled off.
Well, that's good that you didn't send Kubel, because if he took off right there, you had to run all the way to second base and have to come all the way back. That gets tiring after a while.
Yeah.
Twins need a home run right here, John.
Yeah. And Creedy grounds one to third and is thrown out at first.
John, you did a great job.
Very nice.
Congratulations in your first inning of
Thank you.
play-by-play.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
You didn't
you.
get any runs, but that wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
Sports North is brought to you by Quest. Get free 2 gigs online backup service with Quest high-speed internet. By Grand Casino Mille Lacs and Grand Casino Hinckley. Expect grand. And by Chrysler. From power and efficiency to innovation and style, it's the way our vehicles come together that sets us apart. Chrysler.
John Kuzi did a great job that
He
inning.
sure did. Very happy to have him up here. 5-1, the Royals with the lead, and David DeJesus will lead things off against Carl Pavano. Pavano with a high percentage of strikes. Now, 3 out of his 4 pitches here this afternoon have been strikes, and oddly enough, the biggest inning for the Royals started with a leadoff walk, and if he could somehow bring 1 inning back, it would be the 3rd inning when Kansas City scored 3 runs. 1-1.
Well, he's always been a pitcher when he has been healthy, more with the Marlins and then this year with the Cleveland Indians, a guy that could throw strikes, that attacked the strike zone with off-speed pitches, pretty good fastball, not overpowering. But we've seen him leave some balls up here this afternoon, and the Royals hitters have taken advantage of that.
De Jesus retired. Pavano would probably tell you right now he's kind of a mercenary. He's a hired gun. He has no equity with the Twins beyond his first start, which was a very good one against Detroit. He wants to help pitch the Twins into the playoffs and beyond. But of course, he, in an individual side or on the business side of things, he's trying to convince somebody that he's worthy of as much of a contract as he can get beyond this year.
Well, maybe even the Minnesota Twins.
Could be.
So, you know, I mean, he's a guy that is only 23 years old, or excuse me, 33 years old. Has a lot of experience. An all-star back in 2004 when he's with the Florida Marlins. On a world championship team with the Marlins in 2003. Then he went to New York, signed that big contract, and ran into a lot of different arm problems. And like you mentioned, Dick, he's just trying to show everybody in baseball he's healthy again. His best year in 2004, he was 18-8 for the Marlins in 31 starts. Worked 222 innings in 31 starts.
And now 2-2.
And the sad part for him, he made only 26 starts for the New York Yankees in 4 years.
And one of his better starts for the Cleveland Indians came against New York at Yankee Stadium. Just 1 earned run allowed in 6 innings. So if while he was a Yankee, he wasn't the most popular Yankee, at least on that April afternoon, he wasn't a very popular ex-Yankee because he stuck it to him at Yankee Stadium. Not many teams or pitchers have done that. And Redmond buckles after taking that pitch in the dirt.
Bill Welke going to walk the ball out to Carl Pavano. And remember, Bill Welke got hit earlier in the ball game, and I think Mike Redmond did too.
If you're going to block them with men on base, you need to practice them. Practice blocking them
but you
with nobody on base.
You want to block them with your
yes.
chest protector.
Yes, you don't want to block them below the waist, do you? 3-2. Ball back, heading back towards us, and just beneath us. And there isn't much that is beneath us.
No, there is not.
Butler on deck. Strikeout, out number 2.
And strikeout number 4 for Pavano. Took a little off a breaking ball, and Bloomquist a little out front. Good location of this breaking ball right here. Redmond sitting down and away. Maybe a little cutter or slider.
Butler with an RBI double. He just missed hitting a 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. That he just got a double, saved the Twins a run because he never moved from second base. And we showed you Butler with all the doubles. He potentially could set the club record for doubles held by Hal McRae back in 1977. McRae hit 54 doubles, and Butler's well on his way to maybe breaking that club record. Toward the hole. And Cabrera had the same play last night and makes it again today.
And with the same guy running, Billy Butler, you can't believe it.
He's taken 2 away like this against Billy Butler. We're at the Metrodome. The first half of the game went to the Royals. Robbie and Smikowski, Ron Coomer, Bert Blyleven, and Dick Bramer here. The Royals trying to take this series 2-1. And Mike Redmond will try to start a comeback for the Twins in the 5th inning.
Yeah, 9th game these two have played so far on the year, and Twins have won 4, Royals have won 4.
Redmond tapped out to second his first time up. He'll be followed by Punto and Span. The Twins really have not done much against Gil Mesh yet. A couple of hits on a run in the first inning, and then Punto led off the third with a double. But then Mesh got the next 3 batters on ground balls, and the Twins never did score a run. That's behind the first baseman, but Tian is there to make the catch 1 away.
Well, last night's ball game with Billy Butler up. This in the 4th inning. Cabrera going to deep short, utilizing the turf to get Billy Butler. And here we just saw it in the top of the 5th inning. It's Cabrera again going to his right and then coming up. And this time all the way in the air over to Justin to get Billy Butler.
So 1 down in the 5th, and now Punto drove a double down the left field line his first time up. Moves his hand up the bat barrel and takes ball 1. Twins with just 4 hits. And scoring only in the first when they got 2 hits in 1 inning. 2-0. Before the double, Mesh was in danger of walking Punto. Came back and threw him a strike, and Nick hit a line drive down the left field line. 2-1. Mesh has actually been a little bit of a better pitcher on the road than at home. He's had a tough time keeping the ball down and in the ballpark at Kauffman Stadium. Foul back. Has he given any indication to you that he's bothered at all with that stiff lower back?
No, I think that's why, we saw the numbers. He gave up only 1 home run in his first 11 starts, and then after that, I think that's when his back started bothering me. He tried to pitch through it. I talked to Bob McClure about that. He tried to pitch through it as long as he could, and finally they had to shut him down. Again, making his first start since July 11th.
And he shaves the corner for strike 3, 2 down.
And Mesh picking up just his 2nd strikeout of the ball game.
Dairy Queen's hosting Miracle Treat Day all around the country, even up into Canada, where $1 or more from every blizzard sold today benefiting Children's Miracle Network hospitals. The funds raised stay in the local communities. Here locally, the beneficiary will be the Gillette Children's Hospital in St. Paul. And of course, the hospitals treat children with chronic illnesses or those who've been in serious accidents. Last year, $4.5 million raised, and we're looking to do a little bit better than that this year.
And since 1984, over $77 million raised.
Span singled and scored in the first. He hit a ground ball to third after the Punto double and failed to advance Nick. The Twins ended up not scoring that inning. Now 2-0.
You ever had a bad back?
Yes.
Yeah,
regularly.
It's hard. Yeah, there's things as a professional player. My goodness, that's probably one of the worst injuries I've ever had is when I hurt my back. There's nothing you can do about it. And that's what Mesh went through. You try to pitch through it, but it's just that constant pain. And anybody out there that's had a bad back, you know what I'm talking about.
McCready's had a couple of surgeries.
Yes, he has.
Span with a 2-out walk, and we'll see what the Twins can do with it.
It's a first walk by Mesh in the ball game.
Cabrera hoping to extend his hitting streak to 22 games. He's hit a couple of ground balls to the right side. And of course, just trying to prolong the inning here and get Mauer Morneau to the plate with a chance to do some damage.
Yeah, the first one in the first inning, on the first pitch you saw from Mesh, Twins tried a little hit and run. And Caiaspo, the second baseman, he was holding his ground. And he was forced out at first, where Span did move over to second.
Down and away, ball 1.
Look at the hit and run right here. Look where the pitch is. And right there, just a hit and run, and all he was trying to do is just hopefully the second baseman would be covering the bag and would leave a hole open, but instead it was Callaspo holding his ground, and it was a ground ball to him.
Hey, before the Royals took their lead, we talked about the Twins hoping to do some running today on the Kansas City Battery. Does the score here dictate that they wouldn't be running?
No, not at all. Span would like to get into scoring position with 2 outs.
Cabrera bounces it through the hole, and now he's got a 22-game hitting streak. So the hits keep coming for Orlando Cabrera. More importantly, 2 men are aboard now for Joe Mauer.
Well, he came over to the Twins with an 11-game hitting streak with the Oakland A's, and now this is his 11th game as a Minnesota Twin. And he utilizes a turf right here, making good contact, and the ball finding a home out in left field. So every game a career high for Cabrera in those hits, and now it's at 22.
Remember last night in the first inning, the first 2 guys are retired, then the Twins strung together 5 hits, scored 5 runs. They would like something similar to happen here after the 2-out walk to Span. Mauer with an RBI double in the first, then he hit a 2-hopper to Butler in the third.
There's Mauer in last night's ball game, yesterday's ball game. In the first inning, he got the base hit, and then 4 more hits followed.
On the outside corner. Tigers and Red Sox scoreless, top of the 4th inning. Justin Verlander trying to win the final game of that 4-game series for Detroit. If things break right, the Twins could be just 3 games back in the American League Central, but they have some coming back to do here this afternoon to do that. 1-1. Clay Buchholz pitching for the Red Sox in that series finale. Seen pitchers blow on their hands before, but not usually the glove hand. He must be squeezing that glove pretty hard out there. One and one to Mauer.
See if they go back inside again. I say back inside again only because last at bat he did a good job of going in on Joe, and he hit that ground ball to Butler. Trying to change it up a little bit. All 3 pitches have been outer half of the plate.
Pretty good speed on the bases. If Mauer can find a gap someplace, it might score a couple runs. 2-1. Tapped foul. 2-2. Slow breaking ball. Nash's pitch count now up to 71. The Twins have made him work a little bit here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, Mesh making his 19th career start against the Twins. This is his 231st Major League start. He has 82 wins, 77 losses at the Major League level.
2-2 to Mauer. Deep to right field. There's the big hit the Twins have needed.
Well, he went away. They tried to sneak a fastball in, but it wasn't in far enough. Maybe Joe remembered his last at-bat where they tried to pitch him in. And he did not miss his pitch right there. Home run number 21 on the year for Mauer. And his 4th RBI of the ball game. Now with 70 on the year.
And again, all this happening with 2 outs, and as costly as Pavano's leadoff walk was in the 3rd, Mesh's 2-out walk to Span has cost him at least 3 runs. And now here's Morneau.
Boy, Ron Cooper, great hitting by Joe Mauer.
An outstanding at bat. You were talking about them trying to throw some breaking balls and changeups. That was the best changeup Mesh had thrown in that at bat all game. Makes a mistake and comes in with the fastball, and Joe gets him.
1-1.
As a hitter, Ron, you always sit on the fastball, then you make the adjustment, do you not?
You definitely do, especially when you get behind in the count where Joe was at 2-2. Mesh had made his good pitches, his changeup and his breaking ball, and Joe had fouled him off. He didn't miss the fastball.
I'd always heard that. I always sat on the curveball, and they threw the fastball right by me. That's probably why I became a pitcher.
You never hit a home run, did you?
No, I just gave him up.
You picked the right position then.
Yes, I did.
3-0 to Morneau, and a very dangerous pitch suddenly for Gil Mesh, who had a 4-run lead. It's gone, dwindled down to 1.
It's a ball game now.
And Morneau takes a walk, and that brings Kubel to the plate. So 4 straight batters have reached after the second out. And Trey Hillman's on the phone.
We'll see if Bob McClure, which he's coming out right now. We'll talk to his right-hander.
At some point, given all his back misery and the time on the disabled list, you would expect Mesh at some point to hit a wall. Now, maybe that's what's happening here in the 5th, even though he hasn't thrown that many pitches. But he's been out on the mound for a long time here this inning.
Well, 5 days ago, he made a rehab start at the AAA level, and he threw 85 pitches. So McClure just saying his piece in a quick trip to the mound by Bob McClure.
Robinson Tejeda warming up here in the 5th inning in a 1-run game. Kubel singled his last time up. Big swing and a foul straight back by Kubel. Mesh had a game here. The Twins probably should have beaten him in early May. Twins had him 4-0. Scott Baker was sailing along, and then Baker had a really rough 7th inning. Gave the lead back and more, and Mesh was credited with the win. Curve left up high. Now here today, it appears the Twins have designs on turning that script around just a little bit. It's Mesh with the big lead, sailing along until the 5th.
Oh, he's making himself work here the last couple innings. You saw the first 3 innings. Pretty good pitch count. Only 34 pitches in the first 3, but the last couple, he's thrown almost 50 pitches.
Kubel out in front of the off-speed pitch, and it's 1-2. Pavano has hopefully righted his ship here after a quick 1-2-3 top of the 5th. 1-2 with Morneau at first. Slap to left, a base hit. The tying run moves to second. So Kubel has his second hit. And that'll bring up Cuddyer with the tying run in scoring position.
Boy, you see Mauer, Morneau, and Kubel. Why do they hit 300? Why do they come into the ballgame hitting 300? It's because of swings like that from Jason Kubel. Just not trying to do too much. Watch his pitch away and just taking it the other way. Just kind of, defending home plate right there and just slapping it the other way. Great piece of hitting by Kubel. He gets his second hit of the game.
Cuddyer with a couple of pop-ups to second so far today. Fastball down the middle. Now Cuddyer, the one guy who has really owned Gil Mesh, and he hasn't produced yet today, but as John
Kuzi,
said during his half inning of play-by-play, Cuddyer 7 for 19. With a home run and 3 runs batted in against Mesh. Fly ball left field. Retreating is DeJesus. He's over there to make the catch. Twins coming close to a pair of 3-run homers, but they did get one from Mauer to jump back into the game, and it's 5-4.
Robbie, it's Mikowski inside the Minnesota State Lottery Winner's Circle, and I have $100 in Minnesota State Lottery tickets for the Ruzicka siblings. And Bert Blyleven, check this out. 2 brothers, 2 sisters. They haven't been to a Twins game together since August 2nd, 1975, 34 years ago, Bert. How about that?
Did I pitch that ball game, Robbie?
You did pitch that game.
And we won. Wow.
We're going to ask Dave, what are your memories from that day, Dave?
I was a young child, but I do remember we were playing the White Sox.
So was I.
It's a great game, and we won 4-1.
There you go, Bert.
Very nice.
Do you remember that particular game?
No.
Okay. He doesn't remember it, but he thanks you.
Yes.
And you have all been circled. Congratulations.
I think I saw Dead Lake, Minnesota. There's a little dribbler up the right side. Morneau to Pavano, who uses that bare hand again. Well, Pavano fielded a ground ball with his bare hand, or knocked it down, and here he takes the flip from Morneau.
Well, as a pitcher over there, I mean, you get over there, you just kind of watch the ball. You see Justin with the easy toss, and just kind of with those big paws, he just kind of put the ball into those paws for the out.
And now Callaspo. Dead Lake, Minnesota, there's one up around Perham. There might be more than one. There's no town, I don't think, called Dead Lake. But oddly enough, some of the best fishing I've ever had was in a lake called Dead Lake.
Well, all the fish dead? You just took them out?
No, we got walleyes, northerns, fishing with my uncles there years and years ago. 1-0 to Callaspo. Still down a run, but Pavano hoping to bear down here and finish strongly. 84 pitches on his afternoon.
Well, he's a guy that likes to go deep into the ballgame. This is a good guy to have when you have a young staff, and I think the Twins did very well in getting Pavano here. Hopefully his leadership and his desire to want to get deep into the ballgame will rub off on some of these guys. Great job by Liriano last night. But you need Pavano, you need Blackburn, you need Baker to go deeper into the ball game.
You know, one of the things we've seen from Liriano, Blackburn, Baker, first the 2-2 pitch to Callaspo. 3-2. I mean, any pitcher can have a bad inning, and Pavano had a bad inning here in the third, giving up 3 runs. But some of these other pitchers have had a tough time bouncing back after that bad inning and then pitching effectively for a few more innings. In other words, when they've had the bad inning, that's kind of been the end of the game. And here Pavano trying to show that there could be life after a 3-run inning.
It was called pitching.
Yeah. A 1-out walk to Callaspo. Sunday night at Petco Park in San Diego, the USA's best high school players will take the national stage in the 7th annual Aflac All-American High School Baseball Classic. Greg Biggio, part of the announced crew for that. Game time 7 o'clock here on Fox Sports North. Martin, the hitter, with a runner aboard and 1 out. Detroit has a run on the Red Sox in the bottom of the 4th inning, 1-0. Redmond to the mound to catch his former battery mate years ago with the Florida Marlins.
Yeah, teammates for about 2.5 years were Mike Redmond and Carl Pavano.
You know, the 2 biggest acquisitions for the Twins, Orlando Cabrera and Carl Pavano, both had former teammates in the clubhouse. Redmond, a former teammate of Pavano's. Joe Creedy, a former teammate of Orlando Cabrera. So, you know, the Twins doing their due diligence, asking the current players on the roster, hey, what kind of a teammate was Orlando Cabrera? What kind of a teammate was Carl Pavano? And both Redmond and Creedy gave glowing reports on the newest Twins. Team takes up and away, 2-0. Jose Majares going to start to get loose here with Pavano wobbling with his control in 6.
Well, Pavano making his 23rd start. He's had 15 double plays behind him. We get a ground ball off the bat of Tian right here. There we go. Don't know if he'd be able to turn that.
There's one.
Yeah.
And then Callaspo taking care of Cabrera at second base. 2 down.
Well, good job right there by Cabrera, really reading that. That ball wasn't hit that sharply, so you really want to get that lead runner, and that's what they were able to do. Punto had to go to his left, kind of spin around, and then make the throw, so you make sure you get one out.
Here's John Buck. Couple of ground balls, one to second, one to short. Runner goes at the first pitch, and Creedy catches the line drive to end the inning. So Pavano does complete 6. We'll see if the Twins can continue their comeback.
Band right there, the ball going right back up the middle, hit pretty sharply right here, but then when the ball's a little bit not as sharp, you see Pavano reaching out with that bare hand, able to knock it down and get the out.
The Frostbrewed Coors Light freeze can of Robinson Tejeda coming in into a 1-run ball game in the 6th.
Tejeda making his 25th appearance. ERA just under 5, 34 1/3 innings with 44 strikeouts and 26 walks. Hard throwing right-hander.
Bottom third of the Twins lineup awaiting him. Creedy, Redmond, and Punto here in the 6th. Creedy 0 for 2, caught looking in the 2nd. Ground ball to 3rd in the 4th. And he takes ball 1. Creedy with the big 3-run home run early in the ball game last night. The Twins getting back in the game on a Mauer 3-run homer in the 5th. Very high, and it's 2-0. Redmond to follow. And the count goes 3-0, and the Royals fire up the bullpen. Jamie Wright looks like he's going to start to get loose. And Creedy takes a 4-pitch walk.
Boy, now what you want to do coming out of that bullpen, walk your leadoff hitter.
Quest high-speed pitch brought to you by Quest high-speed internet.
Well, Gilmesh topped out at 93. Carl Pavano at 91.
Mesh with a shake of the head after seeing Tejeda issue a 4-pitch walk in relief of him. Mike Redmond with a bouncer to the right side and a fly ball to the right side. Redmond been hitting the ball pretty good. Had the average up to 264. He's had 5 points taken off his batting average here today. Ball 1. Doug Wachter, who pitched here the other day, was taken off the roster to allow for Mesh to be added to it from the disabled list. So the Royals have 3 lefties in the bullpen and 4 righties. And Tejeda can't find the plate.
Well, it's been a bullpen that has really kind of frustrated Bob McClure. Combined bullpen at 5.16 ERA. That's last in the American League as far as combined ERA. 10 wins, 18 losses out of the bullpen with only 21 saves. Only the Cleveland Indian bullpen has fewer saves in the American League.
First Battencourt in Spanish, now Buck in English, trying to tell Tejeda to throw it over the plate. Redmond certainly will be taking a strike here, and now here comes Trey Hillman. And I don't know what language Hillman's going to use, but we might not be able to broadcast it. Right. And he's going to make the change. Wow. Going to take the ball right out of Tejeda's hand after Tejeda threw 6 pitches, all of them out of the strike zone. And it'll be Jamie Wright who will come in the middle of a plate appearance. Treat day. You can text us a question or a comment to short code 234-234. Will you take Coach Todd Richards up on his invitation to skate? That's the text.
Oh,
question.
Sure, yeah.
Have you ever been on?
Yes, I've been on ice skates.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Where? How?
Oh, just as a kid, and then
how
I was
long?
on. We used to go ice skating at a rink in Southern California.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't very good, but yeah, I would do that.
And Redmond takes a strike from the new Kansas City pitcher, Jamie Wright, who had problems throwing strikes last night.
I would love to do that, but, I'm not up here. Now, it'd have to be maybe in September I could do this because they're starting their camp. I would do an instructional with them. If they wanted to see a Dutchman on ice skates. My mother was actually a very good ice skater.
3-1. So you got
she could juggle, too.
You got at least some of your athletic ability from your mother.
I got it all from my mother.
Really? Your dad wasn't an athlete?
No, not at all. Terrible golfer. Terrible.
3-1 to Redmond.
Don't tell him that. You'd hit me.
And now Redmond draws a walk, and that'll get Punto up in a bunting situation. Well, you had some exposure to some Minnesota Wild announcers last night in the instructional.
Yeah, I got to throw some curveballs.
And a couple of safe batters up there.
There's a green light right there, and I accidentally threw that ball. Tried to throw through them, but that's the best hit all night right there. Greenlay got it. Let the curveball up. What's new? A lot of fun.
Well, the Twins with the tying run at second, they haven't put a ball in play here in the sixth.
They only showed the contact. They didn't show the swing and misses.
Yeah, that's out in the outfield. The first one they showed was one I didn't catch. When in fact I caught what, 95.
You caught two out of about 12.
I lose track. Punto bunts a pitch sailing outside, ball one.
Well, Punto's asked to bunt right here, and remember his last time he's asked to bunt, Ron Gardenhire saying you're asked to bunt, not try to bunt for a base hit. You square around and bunt.
It was in Detroit, third game of the Detroit series, and boil the game down to basic terms. The Tigers won the game because they got their bunt down. The Twins lost it because they did not. And so here are the Twins down a run, and the Royals trying to gift wrap the tying run at least here in the sixth. Punto will try again with one strike. And then he swings away, pulling the bat back.
If you're Alex Gordon or Billy Butler and you see that, you backpedal very quickly. Lagarde taking a chance that it was going to be a fastball, that Punto could hit it hard somewhere, and he fouled it off.
But now that's something that was probably called from the dugout.
Oh,
right?
for sure, yes.
He didn't do that on his own.
No.
And now he's up there with two strikes. And I don't know, I wouldn't be surprised if they put the bunt back on with two strikes.
Well, Wright pitched in last night's ballgame. He threw 24 pitches to the Twins in the bottom of the eighth inning.
And strike three. He tried to bunt and failed, and we'll hear it as he goes back to the dugout.
Punto and Span lead the club with 8 sacrifices and a breaking ball right there. But Nick pretty upset at himself right here. Nobody has to tell him that he failed in what he was asked to do.
Now the Twins trying to make something out of this here. They still have 2 men on, 1 out. Span at the plate. He singled and scored in the first. Drew the 2-out walk in the 5th and scored on Mauer's home run. Twins have to get the game tied up here. And Span takes a ball. Pitch up high, and it's 2-0. Now, if Wright, who is strike challenged anyway, goes ahead and walks Span, then the missed sacrifice won't be a factor at all because the Twins will have advanced Creedy to third base. It's so important to get Creedy there because he doesn't run particularly well. There's no assurance he's going to score from second on a hit to the outfield. Nearly a wild pitch, and it's 3-0. Wright walked a guy, he hit a guy, and he was pretty much all over the place last night.
Well, he left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning. He walked one, he hit Gomez with a pitch. And remember, Punto hit that ball to deep right field for the final out.
3-0 to Span.
Go ahead and walk him. At least you'll know where he's at. He's at first base.
Well, that covers up Punto's inability to drop down the sacrifice.
Well, that's guys picking up each other. That's what you need right there. So good eye at the plate. Bad pitching by Wright right there. And the Twins have loaded the bases on 3 walks.
And there is no one warming up behind Jamie Wright. He's going to be given the task of getting the Royals out of this mess. Cabrera singled to left after the Span walked, and they all came home on the Mauer home run. Here, a fly ball to center will go a long way toward picking up everybody's enthusiasm here. Twins need to complete the comeback here. The Royals trying to accommodate them.
Need a gapper right here. Extra base hit.
Covers the inside corner, and Cabrera crouching down, watching it all the way in.
Well, Wright has a good sinking fastball. The infield playing back, looking for the double play. Seen the slider, the big slow curveball, and the changeup from Wright.
Slow curve and a swing and a miss. Cabrera did not see Wright last night. He faced 6 batters, the bottom 6 in the batting order. Tying run right there, 90 feet away. And Wright gets ahead of Cabrera 0-2.
It doesn't matter, Cabrera. He's a pretty good contact hitter. Doesn't strike out much.
High chopper. Right to the second baseman. A double play. The Twins take 3 walks in the inning, but can't get the game tied.
Well, thanks to that 3-run inning for the Royals in the the top of the 3rd inning. Billy Butler taking a pitch high off the baggy in right field, and then Alex Gordon with a home run in the 4th, a solo home run. Joe Mauer hitting a big 3-run home run that made the game 5-4. Twins loaded the bases last inning, unable to at least tie it or go ahead.
And Gordon will lead off the 7th against Carl Pavano, who starts the inning with 92 pitches. Inside, ball 1. Pavano has not given up a hit since Gordon's home run with 2 out in the 4th. And he flips the corner 1-1. Still 1-0 Detroit. Top of the 6th inning at Fenway Park. Now the inside corner.
That's a control right there for Pavano, hitting the outer half and then going inside. Now he left a pitch up to Gordon that Gordon went the other way. See if they go back inside, maybe a breaking ball, maybe the split finger.
Got him.
Got him. And back in. Lucky
that the pitch counted. A ball came free from the Twins bullpen. And third base umpire James Hoy did not call time.
5th strikeout of the ball game for Pavano, and you see that 2-seamer coming back over the inner half of the plate.
So 1 down in the 7th. Here's Yuniesky Betancourt. Maharis and Crane limbering up down on the bullpen mound. Ball 1. Would you agree with what I said before, that one of the problems for some of the other Twin starters is getting into a rhythm, being effective after a big inning?
Yeah, I think that just comes with the immaturity of the staff. They're very young. They don't know. They haven't been through the innings that, say, a Pavano has. And that's why I think, Dick, his presence is going to help. He's been through, where you give up a bad inning like he did in the 3rd inning. Right. But you still find a way to try to keep your club in the ball game.
1-1 to Betancourt.
And he's done that.
Popped up. Might be playable for Morneau. Sprinting near the Kansas City dugout, and it's Redmond making the catch. 2 away.
That's a good play by any catcher here at the Metrodome because it's hard to see. You have that mask on, and then you have to look up. And Redmond right there does find it. And then letting everybody know he's got it. And he does.
That's not that tough.
Yeah. I think I heard something come out of your mouth is I lost it.
When we did the instructional.
I didn't mean just that fly ball.
We did the instructional here the other night. That was at night, and it is more difficult in the daytime here. That's been established. 2 down in the 7th. Here's DeJesus. Just off the plate, ball 1. DeJesus with the triple. Leading off the first. He came in on a ground ball. Since then, a strikeout and a ground out. Two and out. Carlos Gomez, because the Twins are warming up 2 catchers or 2 pitchers. Nate Dahman, the bullpen catcher, and now Carlos Gomez behind the plate, warming up Jesse Crane. Scotty Alger was down there for a while.
There's Gogo. Can do it all. Soft hands.
There's a strike in the inside corner. 3-1.
Pavano with 2 walks in the ball game, 5 strikeouts. He's given up only 5 hits with 2 outs here in the 7th.
And he missed barely. It's a 2-out walk. They'll get Bloomquist to the plate. Twins and Cleveland Indians play at the Dome tomorrow night. It's a Cub Foods Fantastic Friday presented by Land O'Lakes Milk. Buy a ticket in the home run porch. You get a free half-gallon of Land O'Lakes milk, chocolate milk, or orange juice. You can call 800-33-TWINS or log on to twinsbaseball.com and purchase your Cub Foods Fantastic Friday tickets.
Oh, Rick Anderson out to talk to Pavano. Not a pitching change. Just try to get this last out right here. We'll get you a win.
Probably in this situation a number of times where the bullpen's warmed up ready to go, and pitching coach, manager want to give you a vote of confidence, allow you to get 1 more out so your team can hit the bottom of the inning.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Gardy's doing right here. 104 pitches, big deal. This guy is a pitcher. Pitch count to me, which I don't like, but Pavano, he can get out of this right here, get this guy out right here in Bloomquist, and hopefully the Twins can score a run or 2 and maybe get himself a win.
Bloomquist driven in a couple of runs with a ground ball and a single. And DeJesus might have thoughts of a stolen base here.
Well, DeJesus has 3 stolen bases, but that is in 10 attempts.
Pitch is up high. Bloomquist showing bunt.
Dave Owen going through signs at 3rd base. Rusty Kuntz at first base coach for the Royals.
Royals getting a run in the first, 3 in the 3rd, 1 in the 4th, and Pavano's not given up a hit since. bottom of the 6th inning with Detroit and Justin Verlander still leading 1-0.
Twins paying a lot of attention to Jesus. I was just looking up his numbers coming into the season. 40 career stolen bases, but he's been caught 31 times. So this is a guy with good speed. You would think that this guy would really work on that a little bit better to be able to steal bases. Only 3 stolen bases in 10 attempts this year. There he goes.
And Redmond's throw not in time. So a stolen base here. Now he's in scoring position with 2 away.
He got a very good jump right here. He steals his 4th base of the year. And watch this first couple steps right there. He's at full tilt. So he's a guy that probably should have better percentage as far as stolen base numbers. 4 out of 11 this year.
Sometimes players have a problem translating the speed they have into a stolen base ability. Greg Gagne was that way. 1st to 3rd might have been the fastest in the league, but yet Greg was never a great base stealer. Twins, remember one year, I think it was '86, they hired Lou Brock to be a spring training instructor specifically to work with Gagne to help teach him how to steal bases. 2-1 to Bloomquist. Big runner left at second base if Pavano can leave him there.
A lot of speed pitch right there.
2-2.
Might have been the split finger, but in a good spot down and away.
Two. Bloomquist lays off. It's a full count. First base is open, but Butler's on deck. And it might be that Pavano will have Bloomquist to finish the inning, and if he doesn't, they'll have to make a pitching change.
I don't want to get this out right here. Jesse Crain and Jose Mojares, but Crain looks like he's ready to go, with Butler being a right-handed hitter.
Full count to Bloomquist with 2 away. Got him!
Good pitch.
And Pavano pounds his glove as he survives the 7th inning and does a great job completing 7 in his first Metrodome outing. Joe Bauer will lead off the bottom of the inning. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By Dodge, live strong, live bold, live now. Dodge, grab life. And by Aflac, we've got you under our wing.
Well, let's take a look at our Mountain Dew fan of the game, and Lucille Smith. You are here by Circle. I understand it is your first game Took her 94 years to be at her first game. What's she going to do another 94
Yeah, I don't
years?
know. Come back again tomorrow night if the Twins win. Mauer, Morneau, and Kubel. Three lefties facing, oddly enough, Jamie Wright. Mauer's driven in all 4 runs. A double in the first, a 3-run homer in the 5th. And it's 0-2 quickly to Mauer. Twins with a great chance to tie the game up or take their first lead with 3 walks taken in the 6th. Wright got a big double play ball off the bat of Cabrera. And doinked foul. Failing on a bunt attempt in the middle of that inning. Turns out it didn't matter because Span, the next batter, walked. 1-2.
Yeah, Puntos knows he should have had that bunt laid down.
One and two to Mauer. 2-2.
Wright trying to use that backdoor breaking ball to strike out Mauer.
And now the count is full.
Wright, 34 years old, came to spring training as a non-roster player, made the club out of spring training, that bullpen. A lot of major league experiences for Wright. He first came to the big leagues back in 1996 with the Colorado Rockies.
3-2 to the leadoff man here in the 7th. Oh my. Adam 0-2 and the pitches were drifting farther from the strike zone throughout the whole plate appearance, and another leadoff walk here in the 7th. And now Morneau, who drew a walk in the 5th. Seems strange to see Justin's batting average below 300. There's Trey Hillman coming to the mound. He's got a lefty warming up. Going to bring him in. John Bale will come in for Kansas City with Wright walking the leadoff man in the 7th. Having walked, and now left-hander John Bale will try to get the Royals through this inning with the lead.
Well, Bale worked in last night's inning. He worked the 7th inning through only 11 pitches in a 1-2-3 inning. Did not face Justin Morneau in last night's game. Bale will come sidearm type delivery, fastball, big sweeping breaking ball.
Pitch bounced behind Jerry White. 1 strike. Morneau's faced him 9 times, gotten a couple of hits, but also bounced into 3 double plays. Royal outfield playing Morneau to pull. For that matter, the infield is too. The shortstop Betancourt right behind second base. 1-1.
Saw the numbers on Bale. He has walked 17 in 23 2/3 innings. See the defense right there. With Butler holding Mauer on. Fiasco, the second baseman, really playing in that hole toward first.
And a chopper to first. Out there. Now they need a tag at second. Safe at second.
Well,
why? I'm not sure. It looked like the ball got there in plenty of time.
Yeah, Betancourt did not argue it right here. Hillman going out and arguing with Jeff Nelson. Well, boy, Jeff Nelson was right on top of it. Look at this right here. Butler tagging the bag for the force out. Now there has to be a tag. And Joe Mauer
got in there.
He got in there. So look at where Nelson was. I mean, great positioning right there by the umpire. And seeing that Joe Mauer got the foot on the bag before the tag was applied.
So the tying run at second with 1 out, and here's Kubel.
You have to get an out right there. Betancourt very lazy at putting that tag down. That's a double play ball right there.
I was going to ask you about that. Is that just a slow tag?
Yep. Yeah, and that can't happen.
Here's Kubel. We've talked about Butler, and he's not the best first baseman in the world, but he played that perfectly and delivered a perfect throw.
Yeah, that was a lazy way of trying to tag somebody out, and good hustle by Joe Mauer.
1-0 to Kubel. Pulled to first. Butler will make the play. Mauer to third. 2 down. Kubel hit it fairly hard, but with no runner at first. Butler playing well behind the bag, and he was able to pick it off, and the Twins need that hit. They didn't get it in the 6th, and trying to get one here in the 7th. The threat that they had in the 6th wasn't because of any hitting, more walking, and similarly here in the 7th, the leadoff walk has put the tying run 90 feet away. Bale's gotten the 2 lefties. We'll see how he fares against the righty. Down low.
He comes more over the top against right-handers, where left-handers he'll kind of drop 3/4.
There's the outside corner, 1-1. Bale spent a lot of time in Japan. Trey Hillman, the manager, spent a lot of time in Japan. Kadier trying to get Mauer in to get this game tied up. 2-1. Twins out hitting the Royals 7-5. Still trail by a run. 3-1. Greedy on deck. Speed pitch floats over.
Good pitch right there. Fastball situation, fastball count. Bale pulls the string. Vail in his 3rd season with the Royals. Came up with the Blue Jays back in 1999, then spent 3 seasons in Japan.
That's to right field. Hanging up for Tian, and he ends the inning, and the Twins again come up a hit short in the 7th. Have been 1 hit away from tying it or taking the lead. They just haven't been able to get that hit.
Not yet. Not yet.
Billy Butler will lead off the 8th for Kansas City against Jose Majares.
Yeah, Majares, you see, is making his 45th relief appearance. He last worked here on Tuesday night against the Royals. An inning in the 3rd of shutout baseball, even though the Twins lost that ball game 14-6.
The knees in the inside corner, strike 1 to Butler. Tigers lead Boston now 2-0, top of the 7th. At Fenway. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Good hard slider right there by Majares.
Well, if he can direct the ball, I would imagine Butler would want to hit it anywhere but toward the hole to left field, because Cabrera again today has taken a hit away from him in that hole. Rifled to right and deep, and another one off the drape. Kadair will hold Butler to a single. Perfectly played off the canvas. Butler will be pinch run for now by Josh Anderson.
I think we have seen in this series the strength that this young man has right here in Billy Buckner. That ball away, Majares ahead in the count, tried to sneak that fastball away, and Butler just taking it high off the baggie. 2nd time in the game he's hit that baggie out in right field, and a great defensive play by Kadair, keeping Butler to a single.
So the speedy Anderson at first, nobody out, and Mike Jacobs will hit here in the 8th inning. Big swing and a miss. 32,373 the paid today. It was at the 11th straight crowd of over 30,000 fans. The Twins stymied in trying to get that 5th run. The last thing they want to have happen is for the Royals to get their 6th. Jacobs drove in a run with a ground ball, and the Royals scored 3 in the 3rd.
Anderson at first base, good stolen base percentage, 15 of 18. So very good speed at first base. Remember last inning, De Jesus was at first base, a couple throw-overs. That's usually called from the dugout. And then on the next pitch, De Jesus stole second base. So Steve Little, again, the bench coach, very good at picking up signs. A couple straight throw-overs, now a quick throw-over. See if the Twins maybe pitch out right here. There's Steve Little.
One strike to Jacobs. And another throw over.
Twins sensing something's up. This is the game within the game. A little cat and mouse sometimes managers do.
Slide step and a fastball off the plate.
And Anderson is going back to the bag.
Big swing, and Jacobs fouls it back.
You don't want to leave that up there again. He just missed that pitch.
One and two for the Kansas City designated hitter.
See if they go to that slider. He left it inside.
And again, Maharas quickening his pace to home plate, again using the slide step. A left-hander with a slide step, you'd think it'd be almost impossible.
Remember John Danks? How quick he was. Yeah.
Almost
Chicago
impossible to steal a base against him, I would think.
As long as you make that runner stop. Of course, left-handers have the advantage because they're looking right at the base runner.
Now a big leg kick and a foul back. Every once in a while, the runner will take off on first movement, just rolling the dice that they're going to deliver home in the hopes of advancing, getting that stolen base.
That's where Lariano's had a lot of pickoffs doing that.
Right. So a big at bat here after the leadoff single. Still nobody out. Maharas fires over there. Eight pitches to the plate for Maharas, and
22 to first.
I was going to say probably at least as many to first. Swing and a foul tip. Redmond hangs on, and again as Maharas came to the plate, Anderson went back to first.
Yes, he had that high leg kick, and Anderson has not quite been able to read Maharas yet. Another breaking ball right here. Fastball, excuse me, fastball away. And Maharas a big strikeout.
See Anderson shuffling back to first as Maharas was delivering the pitch to the plate. Here's Callaspo.
Callaspo, a switch hitter, hitting .387 as a right-handed hitter.
And he sends one just beyond the reach of Punto. Anderson going to third. Here comes the throw. Got him. Cuddyer threw him out. For the second time in the series, Anderson is thrown out at third.
He hesitated a little around second base, and that was enough for Cuddyer's strong arm to make a one-hop throw to Joe Crede. And what a throw it was. Joe Crede going toward the runner and being able to tag him before Anderson could get to the bag.
Remember last night, Anderson went in head first and jammed his hand into Creedy's spikes in being thrown out at third. So a big throw out by Cuddyer for the second out.
Great throw. You see the above average arm and accuracy above average. Great throw. And a little bit of hesitation by Anderson rounding second base was the difference.
Cabrera flips to Punto to end the inning. A scoreless eighth, even though the Royals touch Maharis for a couple of hits.
You to stay tuned following this ball game for Quest Twins Live, featuring the Toyota post-game wrap. Among the things we will discuss, Joe Mauer today has driven in each of the 4 Twins runs on the scoreboard. We'll get thoughts from Twins manager Ron Gardenhire. Plus, it's back to school. Ron Coomer has his high school baseball coach here in town. Jim Hall, the head coach of Lockport Township High School in Chicago. He's going to be a part of our instructional. I believe he's hitting some ground balls to Ron Coomer. Going to help him brush up on his skills yet again in case he ever plays a little senior league or beer league baseball. It's all coming up on Quest Twins Live following this game. And Bert and Dick, I wonder if we could ask Coach Hall, how many times did Ron Coomer get detention in high school?
Hall strike at 0-2. Good question. I just hope he makes Coomer run some laps.
I'm thinking more swats. Yeah. Ron Coomer probably got a lot of swats from the principal.
Martinez in at first base now. And Joaquin Soria comes in to try to get a 6-out save. He gets Creedy on 3 pitches. Creedy fouled a high fastball back, took a called strike, and then swung at that super slow curve.
Yeah, he's got a good curveball. Excellent control for Soria. Only 8 walks in 32 2/3 innings.
Josh Anderson in the game in right field.
Soria has 18 of the 21 saves for the Royals.
Down and away in the dirt, in fact, ball 1. Not very often will a team ask its closer to go 2 innings to pick up the save, but you've seen the setup relief for Kansas City less than efficient. So Trey Hillman trying to win this series and trying to get 6 outs from his closer. That's cracked down the right field line, but it'll be foul. And Anderson, who we've seen cover an awful lot of ground out there in the outfield, closed pretty fast on that flare. 1-1. Bottom third of the lineup to face Soria here in the 8th, but then in the 9th, Span, Cabrera, Mauer, perhaps. Maybe those guys will come up here in the 8th. Twins hope so. Outside, 2-1. When a situation like this is presented to you, the least thing the most important thing is to try to make the guy work in the 8th inning. 2-2. Maybe have him shoot some bullets in the 8th so there aren't as many left in the 9th.
Well, but he's not a guy that, like I said, he only has 8 walks on the year. He attacks the strike zone. And he does it with an assortment of pitches. A good fastball in the low 90s, slider. We saw that big slow curveball that struck out Creedy.
And And this one hit to right again, and Anderson retreats and makes the catch, out number 2.
Changes speeds very well. 42 saves last year for the Royals.
Brendan Harris is going to hit for Nick Punto. And here comes Bob McClure.
Well, maybe a little scouting report on Brendan Harris. He's 2 for 6 as a pinch hitter.
Twins just don't have much of anything against Soria. You look at the reports, Delman Young is 1 for 5. Justin Morneau 1 for 10. Joe Mauer 3 for 5. Those are the only Twins hitters with hits against Soria. Well, Mauer's 3 for 6 against him and 2 for 2 this year. But there's not a whole lot of, to draw from in terms of any success against Soria.
Well, pretty good pickup in a Rule 5 draft pickup by the Kansas City Royals from the Dodger organization. Joaquin Soria, just 25 years old, his 3rd season with the Royals.
And here's Harris. Twins need to put together a 2-out rally like they did in the 5th. Ball 1. Just off the plate, 2-0.
Harris with 6 home runs on the year. He hit one here on Tuesday night.
There's the outside corner, 2-1. Called. In the 5th, first 2 men were retired, then Span walked, Cabrera singled, Mauer homered. The next 2 batters reached. 5 straight batters reached with 2 outs in the inning. Harris with a home run swing and a miss, 2-2. Nathan and Crane warming up. Carlos Gomez being kept busy down there in the bullpen. 3-2. Span on deck. Harris trying to keep the inning alive. Takes a walk. So the Twins, who haven't done any hitting literally since the 5th inning, have taken their 5th walk since the 5th, and every threat they've had has come because of free passes.
And Alexi Casilla will pinch run for Harris at first base.
Span, who's faced Soria 4 times and has gone 0 for 4 with a walk. Trying to put Casilla in motion here. Fouled back, first left-handed batter that Soria's had to face here. And like most good closers, it really doesn't matter. Lefty's hitting .222 against him. Righty's .197.
Soria missed about 6 weeks of the season because of some right shoulder problems. Activated in early June.
0-2 with Soria hitting the corner. Span waits and just gets enough of it to keep it out of Buck's glove.
Well, that big slow curveball.
Two strikes to Span. Down in the dirt. Any chance at all that the Twins would try to steal KCA into second base. 7 steals and 7 tries. Buck with well-documented trouble throwing out runners, and Span's got some extra base power, but he's got 115 hits, and only 19 of them have gone for extra bases.
Jerry White helping KCA right there.
We'll see. And Span flips another one foul. He won the arm wrestling with the gentleman in the red shirt next to him. Nice going.
Thumbs up.
Twins need a 2-out hit. Haven't had one since the 5th. And Span goes after a high fastball and strikes out. So Soria, 20 pitches and a scoreless 8th. Rapid rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Soria had to use 20 pitches to get through the 8th, but he got through it, but he's got one more inning ahead of him. And Jesse Crain will come out of the Twins pen to pitch to Kansas City in the 9th.
Well, Jesse worked here on Tuesday night, making his 33rd relief appearance. Need a shutout inning right here. Keep the game at 5-4.
Buck, Gordon, and Betancourt to face Crain here in the Kansas City 9th. KCA in the game at second base. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Buck with a couple of ground balls on a line out to Creedy. Off the end of the bat, foul. Going to the bottom of the 8th at Fenway with Detroit leading 2-0. Twins in danger of giving back the game to Detroit that they gained last night. Texas beat Cleveland 4-1, and the Rangers continue to hang in there in the American League West and in the wild card hunt. If the Tigers win the final game of that series at Fenway, Texas is just a half game back in the wild card.
Ron Washington's done a good job down in Arlington.
So is Mike Maddox, the pitching coach down there.
Taking the instructions from Nolan Ryan.
2 strikes to Buck. And another foul. Well, of course, Maddox was hired away from the Milwaukee Brewers, and yesterday they fired their pitching coach and changed the left side of the infield. Billy Castro dismissed, Chris Bosio taking his spot, and J.J. Hardy sent down to the minor leagues.
Castro was the bullpen pitching coach more or less for what, 17 years.
Right.
He becomes the everyday pitching coach, and then he gets fired. That breaking ball just missing.
The Brewers were in.
Should have stayed in the bullpen.
Brewers were in the race for a while. They're still only 7.5 games back, but got the same record as the Twins, 55 and 58. 1-2. Crane to Buck. And Redmond can't hang on. So Buck hanging tough. 4 2-strike fouls in this plate appearance. Royals haven't scored since the 4th. Twins haven't scored since the 5th. Curve, got him.
Good curveball right there by Crane, picking up a strikeout.
1 down, and one more reminder. Today we're celebrating DQ Miracle Treat Day. At participating locations, a portion of the proceeds of every Blizzard purchase will be donated to the Children's Miracle Network. Get out and get a Blizzard later on today on a hot summer day. Last year, $4.5 million raised on Miracle Treat Day for the Children's Miracle Network. And Dairy Queen, one of the top 5 contributors to the network, having raised $77 million since 1984. And again, locally, all the money staying right here to benefit Gillette Children's Hospital. Strike 1 to Alex Gordon.
Yeah, we want to thank Marnie too for covering the event here today.
I don't know, though. She did a great job covering it. You think she made a good Blizzard there when she was giving us the demo?
Yes, I think she did. Yeah. It's probably all gone now. She might be on her 3rd or 4th Blizzard, knowing her.
2 strikes to Gordon.
Peanut butter cuts, that's what she likes.
Wide of the plate, 1-2. Two strikeouts for Jesse Crane. Time now for our Mercedes-Benz E-Class attention assist of the game.
Well, it came in just an inning ago when Anderson tried to go from 1st to 3rd. A great throw by Michael Kadire. And a little hesitation with his feet work right there kind of slowed him down. And that allowed Michael Kadire and Joe Creedy to make the out at 3rd.
Here's Betancourt with the bases empty and 2 outs. Very high, ball 1. Betancourt singled and scored in the third. Since then, a ground ball to third and a foul out to Redmond. That's to left. And that ball getting by Kubel, and it'll go all the way to the warning track. Betancourt rounding second, on his way to third, and he'll be in with a triple. Kubel tried to make a diving catch, and instead it'll be a 2-out triple.
Well, you've been in the outfield. You only went pop-ups. How about these little line drives that kind of have that top spin on it? Kubel coming in thinking that at least, you know what, I'm going to try to attempt for this ball right here, and it just comes up maybe a glove short, and then as it hits him, kind of rolls off the glove behind him. And it was Denard Span that had to run all the way from center field to get it back in. Another triple for the Royals, their second of the ball game, and their 40th of the year. For Betancourt, his 5th triple of the year.
DeJesus, the batter. Nice block by Redmond. That ball landing in front of the plate, and Red blocked it. Crane, who struck out the first 2 batters, trying to get DeJesus and keep this a 1-run game. Twins, I don't think, have had a walk-off win at home in 3 months.
That's what I was thinking.
And the Twins would dearly love to approach Soria in the bottom of the 9th with just a 1-run deficit. Fastball outside.
Redmond kind of looking in. Let's see what they do right here. Saw Orlando Cabrera kind of come walking in and look at Redmond like,
gonna walk him now,
make him really think about this next pitch. Don't just give him a cookie right here. Redmond sitting way outside.
That's called a strike.
Redmond said, okay.
That pitch was 8 inches outside.
Watch how far Red gets off the plate.
Right down the inside stripe of the batter's box.
Go a little bit further, Red.
2-1. And now breaking pitch. That also hits the outside corner, kind of, sort of. 2-2.
Well, got to credit Crane for at least hitting the glove.
And if you're DeJesus, you're probably going to swing at this pitch regardless of where it is. He took a curve in the dirt. I'm not sure the Twins have thrown him a strike yet, but the count's 2-2. Betancourt at third with 2 away. Very high, 3-2. Willie Bloomquist would be next.
Surprise me if he throws a fastball here.
He's thrown a lot of breaking pitches in this at bat to DeJesus. Fastball fouled over the on-deck.
He went inside a little bit. It's about the only place you want to throw a fastball. DeJesus, we saw him already in this series, just shoot the ball to left field. He wants an out. Crane wants an out. I want an out.
Got an out. You got an out. Crane strikes out the side. It'll be a 1-run lead for the Royals going to the bottom of the 9th. Orlando Cabrera leading off the ninth. First pitch fouled back. There's the Jeep game reset. The Royals at one point had a 5-1 lead.
Yes, 3 runs in the top of the third inning. It was really the inning that got away from Carl Pavano. But the Twins are looking for some hometown magic right here in the bottom of the ninth inning.
Cabrera leading things off. Then Mauer, Morneau. The pitch cracked, foul, and 2 quick strikes to Cabrera, who extended his hitting streak with a single in the 5th. Then Mauer hit the 3-run homer, and the Twins had gotten the momentum that you think would have taken them over the top, but they have not gotten a hit since the 5th. 2 strikes and a curve, tapped foul.
Yeah, Twins had a chance to at least tie it or go ahead in the 6th inning.
They got a leadoff walk in the 7th too.
Yep.
So they've taken 5 walks since they scored 3 in the 5th, but have not gotten a hit. Cabrera trying to get aboard by any means. 2 strikes. Liner to Betancourt, softly hit, and it sagged at the end, 1 away. Mauer's driven in all 4 runs for the Twins with a first inning double and a 3-run home run in the 5th.
Yeah, that coming in the 5th inning for Joe Mauer's 21st home run of the year. And now 70 RBIs on the year. Make it 71.
Again, he's the only Twin to have had any success against Soria. 2 for 2 this year, and 3 for 6 in his career, and he takes ball 1.
Rally hats are out.
Fouled away, 1-1. As the designated hitter today for the Twins, he has done his part. From my memory, which isn't very good, and from my box scores, which I keep, which I haven't had time to pour through completely, I think the last walk-off win for the Twins at home was May 13th when Creedy hit the grand slam against the Tigers. That's been 3 months ago today. 1-2. The Yankees seem to be bouncing up and down at home plate every other game at Yankee Stadium. They did a lot of that against the Twins, but I don't think the Twins have had a walk-off winner in 3 months.
I think you're right. It's been a while.
1-2 to Mauer. Outfield, of course, playing deeply. They want to try to cut down a double if they can. And Mauer, with a swing that was intended to hit it over their heads.
Well, Buck wanted that pitch inside. He left it out over the plate a little bit, and Mauer fouled it off.
First baseman Tien's guarding the line. Third baseman Gordon's well off the line. One and two. Slow curve, dribbled to the right side. Callaspo has it. Tien for the second out. So Soria with that paralyzing slow curveball threw it to Mauer in 1 and 2 and got a weak little ground ball.
Well, he has that fastball in the low 90s, and then that curveball comes in about 75. And Joe, you wait back, and then he just beat it into the turf.
Here's Morneau, last hope for the Twins. He has just 1 hit in 10 at-bats against Joaquin Soria. High fly down the left field line. It's a foul ball over the head of Joe Nathan. Soria does so many things well, including keeping the ball in the ballpark in his injury-riddled season. Now a little over 34 innings, he's only given up 1 home run, or 4 home runs rather. Twins hoping Morneau can at least prolong the game. Outside, 1-1. Fastball on the outside corner, 1-2.
He adds and subtracts so good. The previous pitch about 85, that one about 92. When you mix in that big slow curveball in the 70s, and he can throw all of them for strikes.
1-2 to Morneau. And now 2-2.
Took a little off that.
Nothing Detroit going to the bottom of the 9th at Fenway. 2-2 to Morneau. Popped up. Betancourt coming in, and the Royals have taken the series 2-1.
Well, the Royals are a team that the Twins knew they had to play good against, hopefully sweep them, but instead the Royals won 2 out of 3. Disappointing series for the Twins.
And the Twins are in danger of losing the ground that they picked up last night. And Anthony, the Twins with the start of a comeback in the 5th, they could not get a hit in any inning after that.